All right. What is up? This is week one of the IPA. Hold on, let me make that. Okay, that looks better. Um, yes, like I just said, week one of the IPA. Hope you all are having a good day. I hope you enjoy watching this video. We are the Memphis Greninjas. We're going up against the Kansas City Chikorritos for week one. Um, so yeah, look at the team preview, right? Team matchup. He's got two tier one dragons, which is crazy. He's got Mega Mawile, which is also monstrous. Porygon 2, I've used it. I love Porygon 2. It's so good. Glade is pretty good against my team. Clefairy, I do think he's gonna bring. Just a few things to note off the bat. His fastest Pokemon is Garchomp at 102, and nothing else gets above or even at 100 speed. So that's important to note. Also, he's got three Eviolite users: Clefairy, Porygon 2, and the Bat. So that's important. So we'll definitely need some knockoffers or knocker offs. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. And one more thing, his only real specially offensive like nuke on his team is gonna be Hydreigon. Um, and I mean, Rotom Wash can be run offensive. P2 I guess could. It's got decent special attack, but other than that, there's really no offensive special attackers on his team, which is going to be important for my team building. So let's get right into the team. We have first off Kyurem, Habanberry. This is a pretty interesting spread here. We've got almost max HP, and then enough Spidef to take a try attack with the substitute and still have the substitute, so it's going to do less than 25% to me as long as he's not invested, and as long as he doesn't get like a download boost. If he goes download, that would be unfortunate, but I think he'll go Trace. I don't think he's going to go download. I think Trace is a better ability, in my opinion, especially for a Pokemon like P2. Um, so yeah, and then we have enough defense to take an uninvested Brave Bird from Golbat. He could run Super Fang, and that's definitely possible, but if he does end up running Brave Bird, then that's going to do not enough to break our sub if he's uninvested. Not that he'd stay in with Golbat on a Kyurem anyway, but in case he does, I don't know. Um, Also, the defense really just is nice in general. Again, his team's very physically offensive, so having that defense is great. I can take a Dragon Claw from a Garchomp as long as I'm like at half or above. I'll be able to take that with the Habanberry, so that's awesome. Habanberry also helps me out against Dragon or against Hydreigon. And then Toxic is just great for his whole team. Ice Beam, I put Ice Beam on there over Earth Power. I know Earth Power hits Mega Mawile better, but I need Ice Beam because if I don't have Ice Beam, that Habanberry does nothing for me because I can't threaten Hydreigon or Garchomp without Ice Beam. And it's okay that I don't hit Mega Mawile. I'm not staying in on the thing anyway, so it's okay that I can't Earth Power it. And you know, Freeze Dry would be nice for Rotom, but it can beat Rotom one-on-one every time because of Toxic, so I don't really need Freeze Dry. I'd rather have the extra damage with Ice Beam. Um, and yeah, that's about it with Kyurem. At first, I wasn't even going to bring it because he's got two dragons that are faster than it, and Porygon 2 walls it unless I run this set. So at first, I wasn't going to bring him, but then I'm like, let me try to use the set. Let me see if it works out. Next up is Miltank. Now, Miltank is actually it used to be Nihilego. When I built this team at first, I had Nihilego here with not like knockoff and stealth rock, and it was like a support set. But I changed it to Miltank because I want more than one answer to Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile is a huge threat, and this thing may be able to take two playoffs. It's a roll, honestly. It's a roll. So hopefully we get that roll. If he's adamant max attack, which he probably will be. But yeah, if he starts going for Sword Stance, that's gonna be a problem. So that's why we have Earthquake there, so that I can hopefully do some critical damage to Mawile, get it in range of other things, and Stealth Rock's there just because Stealth Rocks are nice against his team. He has four Defoggers, if I'm right, at least four. So not that those will always be staying up, but I mean, if he's got rocks on my side of the field, I'll want to get rocks on his side of the field so that maybe he feels forced to go for Defog, which would help me too. So yeah, and then Toxic just because Toxic hits everything. This thing also takes good. It takes Earthquakes from Garchomp really well. Like a Life Orb Earthquake will do like 40% to me, so I can eat those just fine. Next up, we have Palpable. Now, when I had Nihilego on the team, this was a banded Passimian, but I changed it to Scarfed because um, I mean, looking at his team again, he's got nothing that will outspeed this bar any Scarfers. So that's going to be really helpful. Um, that's enough speed, by the way, to outspeed a Garchomp. And that's all I really need. The rest can go into HP. And yeah, I mean, I was contemplating Gunk Shot or Rock Slide. Which one should I do? I decided on Gunk Shot because Clefairy I think is coming, and I don't have much for that thing other than this thing with Gunk Shot. But I'll be locked into it, so I'm gonna have to probably make a prediction around that thing maybe. But Knockoff's a good middle ground against a lot of things on his team, and so is U-Turn. So hopefully we can get some fast U-turns off and really start getting some initiative on our opponent. Sorry. But yeah, that's probably pretty easy. Sharpedo is next, Mega Sharpedo. Now, this Sharpedo will most likely not be utilizing Speed Boost. I don't have to Mega first turn, but the thing about this is that Sharpedo outspeeds his team anyway. Again, without any Scarfers. Sharpedo will outspeed everything, and that's gonna be great. I don't need to not Mega Evolve him. I'd rather just get the Mega Evolve, get the bulk, the extra bulk. I know it's not a lot, but get the extra bulk, get the extra attack, get the strong jaw, so that I can just start hitting things really hard with Sharpedo. And plus, I have Flip Turn, and I'm not gonna be actually if I Mega Evolve and then I Flip Turn, the speed is nullified anyway. It's gone. Capiche? It's gone. So it's fine. Yeah. So I got Flip Turn, Ice Fang, Earthquake, Close Combat. It's pretty self-explanatory coverage. I need the CC for P2, and yeah, I didn't think I really needed Crunch here. I don't think it's important. So again, pretty simple stuff, not too crazy. Next up, we got Marowak. Now, this is my primary answer to Mawile. And I know Mawile can get Knockoff and Sucker Punch, that's why I'm bringing Colbur Berry. I remember saying in the draft analysis, there's no way, or I said something like, I'm not going to bring Marowak without Thick Club. If I do, then it's going to be like probably once. And this is the once. Like this is where Colbur Berry is actually more useful because this is here for the Mega Mawile. I can switch into a Play Rough and then take a Knockoff in most cases. Not all cases, but I mean, again, it comes down to a roll, but I'm willing to take that risk. And I'm putting a little bit of speed in this thing so that maybe I can outspeed the Mega Mawile. The way I figure it is if it's faster, then it's going to die to a Flare Blitz because it's not going to have enough bulk. If it's slower, then I get 2 Flare Blitzes off. If I know it has Sucker Punch, I can go for Will-O-Wisp. I can also predict a switch and go for Will-O-Wisp, like Garchomp if that thing wants to come in on a Flare Blitz. I can go for Will-O-Wisp and cripple it. So we got some options with this thing. Another knockoff user, great for his Eviolite mons, like I said, and in general, knockoff's a great move. Considered Stealth Rocks, but I didn't feel like I needed it on this thing and Miltank. But yeah, I really don't want to be using this thing against his Arcanine or his like Orbeetle or his Gallade, even though it could be good against those things. I really don't want to do that because I need this thing at like full health to be able to deal with Mawile. And I got one shot. I figure there's no way he thinks I'm running Colbur Berry on this thing. Everyone always runs Thick Club because it's always the best ability or best item. So hopefully I can kind of catch him off guard with that. And yeah, that's that. So last but not least, we have Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is great. I'm running it with Scald. First I had Haze, and then I had Reflect, and now I have Scald. So this is my Hydreigon answer. I switch into Hydreigon every time with this thing. If he does go for U-turn, that's fine. If he goes for Defog, it actually gets rid of the Misty Surge, so that's interesting to keep in mind. But yeah, before this, I really had nothing for Hydreigon. I don't think he's going to bring it, to be honest, but if he does, then I have this thing. It's also just decent against a lot of things on his team. It's good against Garchomp. It's good against Arcanine. It's good against P2. I have knockoff on this thing as well. It can hold its own against Gallade. Mega Mawile. If I go for a Defog, Misty Surge is gone. I can spam Scald and hope for a burn. that speed is there for Arcanine, so if he's running no speed on Arcanine, that I'll be able to outspeed that thing, which will be nice because I have Scald. Um, but yeah, I just felt like overall, since Defog actually gets rid of the terrain, I feel like Scald is going to be more useful than Haze or Reflect. Because the way I see it, if I'm using Haze against Mawile, instead, like, I have nothing else to hit. I Moonblast and knock off. I'm not gonna be able to hit Mawile at all, and eventually he's probably gonna get a Swords Dance up. And I mean, unless there's more hazes, there's more power points of haze than than Swords Dance, which is possible, but it just felt like a losing battle. Eventually, my Finny's gonna just die and do nothing, so I have to have that Skull at least to make him worry about a burn, so he can't set up all over me. But yeah, that's about it. So what do I expect? I'm expecting, this is the 6 I'm expecting: Garchomp, Mega Mawile, Porygon 2, Gallade, Clefairy, and Rotom Wash. That's that. I don't know if Arcanine's coming. I don't know if or Beetle, Trevenant, Gallade. Those are kind of and Hydreigon. Those are the 5 I don't expect any more than the 6 I mentioned. Again, Mawile, Garchomp, Rotom Wash, P2, Gallade, and Clefairy. So, but at the same time, I think I'm prepared for everything that he could bring. So, yeah, hopefully this works out. I think if my editing skills are good enough, I can just cut right to the battle here and not have to make a whole new video. So I'll see you then. Alright, we are here with the battle against T-Man, aka Welch's Jam, aka the Kansas City Chikorritas. So looking at team preview, I see that he has Golbat and or Beetle instead of Porygon 2 and Clefairy, but everything else I got right, which is great. No live recording. I was gonna try to, but just technical difficulties. I couldn't get it done. I didn't want him to wait for me. So yeah. Look at the lead. I'm expecting either Garchomp or Beetle because those are the 2 things that have hazards. So I'm just gonna lead Finny because it's good against both of those really. So let's go ahead and click play. Now I lead with Finny as he leads with the Garchomp. So I know that I can probably just go for Moonblast here. I didn't want to predict anything turn 1. I can really deal with a lot of things on his team, so I'm just going to Moonblast. That does a good, well, it doesn't really do a lot, especially because this thing gets recovered. So I do see with that damage that he's fully specially defensive, so I'm going to knock off the leftovers, which is good. He goes for Sticky Web. Now the only real thing that threatens this Finny directly is going to be that Rotom Wash, so we just got to worry about that thing. But yeah, I go for knockoff as he Sticky Webs, I defog, so we're just playing that kind of game. He has no speed, and it's nice that I put a little speed on this thing because now I can actually outspeed this thing, which is great. So here I just go for Moonblast, trying to get him a little bit weaker. As he goes for U-turn. Now this turn I was actually thinking about going into Sharpedo, predicting a Psychic or Sticky Web, and then I can go get momentum, but I didn't just in case he went for U-turn there, and he did go for U-turn, so I'm really glad I didn't switch. He's going to go into Rotom and go for a Volt Switch, which does a crap ton. That's Modest Choice Specs, by the way, which I really don't have much on my team for. He goes into Gallade. I'm going to switch out because I want Miltank around for that Garchomp. I know I can take 1 hit in most cases here. So, yeah, I go to Finny as he goes for the substitute. Now he's going to go for Zen Headbutt. 10% chance to flinch, gets the flinch. Alright, that's 1 flinch, alright? So, get the lefties. I should be fine. I mean, I have the leftovers, so it's not a big deal. Goes for Zen Headbutt again, gets the flinch again. So at this point, I'm really feeling a little bit tilted, right? So I gotta stay in, right? Because if I switch in a Sharpedo predicting Zen Headbutt, I don't get anything. I have to flip turn back into Finny, which I guess wouldn't be a terrible play, but I do get the Moonblast, so I break the sub. Here, I definitely 100% should have switched into Sharpedo. If I switch into Sharpedo there, because I know he's not going to Drain Punch, he can't risk his Gallade like that, I could have gone to Sharpedo, then flip turned, because he probably wouldn't have stayed in, and even if he does, I can go back into Finny or Marowak, but anyway, I didn't do that. Let Finny drop. Go into Marowak, and then I click Knock Off, predicting a switch into anything. I knock off the Scarf, which is great. I don't have enough health to take 2 of these, though, which is really unfortunate. I didn't really want anything else to go down. I didn't want anything else to take damage. I could have gone a Passimian in retrospect, but that just didn't happen. You guys know Orbeetle on the Ice Beam. I was kind of thinking Rotom uh, or Mawile comes out, but it's great that I get rid of Orbeetle. I was really stoked about that. That was fully specially defensive. I don't even have any investment on Kyurem, so that was pretty nice. I was able to 2 a KO there, and so no webs, which is awesome because I didn't have my default up. So if he got webs up, that'll be really annoying. I go for knockoff as he's on the Gallade. I really did not think he was going to switch because I couldn't kill that thing in any one shot, but he ended up switching it out. And then he doubles into Golbat and I don't really know why, but I got really Eviolite, so I don't really mind. Now I'm going to switch out because I didn't want to keep Passimian around at that point. I didn't want to keep it in. I go for Sub. He does have the Super Fang, which is annoying. I was hoping it wouldn't bring Super Fang, but it did. Also has Infiltrator, so does no damage to the Sub. Now he's going to Drain Punch. I go for Toxic here, and he has the Lumberry. Now if I go for Ice Beam, I don't know. Some things could have been different in this game. Who knows? I guess we'll find out later. But yeah, he goes for Drain Punch, and now I just go for Will-O-Wisp. Predicting a switch, it did happen, but I mean, that wasn't really ideal. I probably should have just gone for Flare Blitz. I didn't want Rotom or Garchomp to come in, so I go for Poltergeist here. That does like nothing. Well, it does a good amount, but if I was Thick Club plus like any type of offensive investment, that probably would have killed Rotom, which would have been amazing. Probably would have got me much closer to a win, if not just win right there. But yeah, so I go into Passimian as he switches out, which is actually great because I was predicting a Golbat to come in, so I get that off. Now here I was contemplating going for Flip Turn, but it wouldn't have killed this thing, and I didn't want to risk that. I knew I could. If he switches, that's fine. I can if he goes a Mawile there, I can just Flip Turn. So yeah, he does smartly lets the Golbat go down. Now he's gonna bring in Mawile. I was really hoping he would Swords Dance. Swords Dance would have basically ended the game right there, but he didn't do that, so that's great. As now I can just bring in Palpable. Now I went for U-turn here because I was thinking if he thinks that I'm gonna close combat and I can bring in Sharpedo and Earthquake him, then he's probably gonna switch out to preserve that Mawile's health. So that's exactly what I did. If he stays in, then I lose 100% right there. I lose 4-0. But he did switch out, so then I got the kill. Again, considered Flip Turn, but I didn't want to risk not killing the Garchomp in case it had like some HP investment. So I go for Flip Turn there because I need Sharpedo. I can't win this game with Passimian because I can't beat Gallade if it's choiced in close combat. He goes for Sucker Punch. Looking at the Flip Turn damage, initially I didn't think Earthquake would kill, but it actually does kill. So now we got Rotom and Gallade. He brings out Rotom. I don't really know why, because I could have killed with a bunch of different moves, including Crunch. Maybe he thought I had Protect instead, and then it could take any hit, but I do have Close Combat. Go for Ice Fang. Strong Jaw boosted. Does a lot, but I don't get a flinch or a freeze. That was what I was hoping for, because he got 2 flinches with Zen Headbutt. That's a 10% chance, so basically a 1% chance if he gets 2 in a row. So I was hoping maybe I could get the 20% chance, but alas, I do not. I lose 1-0. Probably could have been, I mean, for the situations that happened, I didn't give up after Finny went down, but my morale was pretty beat up after that, so I didn't really want to. I mean, I wanted to try to win, but I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, and all things considered, I think I'm not too mad about this game. Definitely could have prepped a little bit better if I just brought offensive Marowak. I just thought he was going to use Mega Ball a lot more. I thought he would bring it in much sooner than that. But again, I don't know how he plays. He doesn't know how I play. So GG's to T-Man. He definitely played well enough to get the W. We're going to come back next week with just as much enthusiasm and hopefully get a dub. There's only 7 weeks, so we can't be messing around here. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll make sure I get week 2 up next week. So yeah, see you then.